Gayathry, thank you for having joined us in the final panel where we concluded and summarized a bit the last 2 days, the conference talking about online to offline action. In the last panel we tried to make some points. What are the possible consequences for the German media development scene? And so, taking to account your perspective from Southeast Asia, what role for media development is in lobbying for internet freedom? What is actually already a role, and was it a role which you wish?
I think looking at the changes and the developments now, and particularly looking at the internet as a platform, I think that there's definitely a role, because it's becoming more urgent maybe to actually merge or synergize what used to be the traditional media role and the need for skill building, capacity building, but also with the community in terms of what we see as citizen journalists or contributors, bloggers, and the public in general. So I think what I've said at the discussion is maybe it's time to think small rather than think big, by actually integrating or bringing together the different groups, the media, the sort of civil society groups, the public, but actually to engage each other, and there's also some kind of cross-learning from each other. And I think that where media development has been traditionally also on the skills, but I think there is actually room to also advocate for the protection of that space. So it's going a little bit beyond what may have been the sort of the framework. But I think that because it is a space that can easily be controlled, then I think it's also there's a need for the media themselves to be able to advocate for that space.
At our panel, we discussed some different approaches, the US approach regarding this topic and the European approach, or basically the German approach. How do you perceive the different approach regarding the linkages or links between digital and real-world activism?
I think it's good to have different approaches, because I think that there's actually not just one way of doing things, and also even just coming from Southeast Asia, you see that the needs are different, the circumstances are different, the kind of political engagement is different. So I think that some of the models that would work, some of the models designed maybe like from the US donors could actually work in some of the countries, and maybe that strength and that capacity building skills of the journalists, for example, can always be used in some of the other countries. I think that it's not necessarily a competition of choosing which one, but I think the availability of the choices depending on the needs might actually be a good thing.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right.
Okay.